today is March 11, and yesterday, what's happening? Okay, yesterday, we rejected the previous day's value area, came down all the way. Like I said, if we get below this area, we were probably gonna travel through the whole range with some minor support here. Then we bounced a little bit in this area, and then we kept going, tested this area. I posted in the Discord when we were testing this area that was a good spot to look for a bounce. Then from there we bounced quite a lot. If you could wait and then just take a trade at those major areas, then you don't have to be scalping throughout the day, because that could make your day very easily. Look at that big bounce. Anyway, and then we spend the rest of the day around here, the rest of the session. Now overnight we attempted first we dropped. We tested below that range again. Buyers stepped in the same area, and then spent the majority of the overnight session up here. And now we move down here where most of the volume is, the 5-day point of control. So, this whole area is very thin on both the overnight session and yesterday's session. So, I want to see if we retest again this area, if the buyers are still there. But if not, if we keep testing it over and over, then eventually it's going to break. And then if it breaks, we have a set of single prints here between 55.30 and 55.41. That's the first area, the first target. And then after that, we have this low at 55.25, and then the high volume node here 54.90. So that's the target below if we keep moving lower. And then from there, we still have all this area all the way to 5,180 with some support at 53.20. But we'll see. We're still one time framing down, even though we saw some buyers yesterday and during the overnight. We still need to see if we can break above the previous session high. We haven't done that in a while. Let me see, when was the last time here? The March 3rd was the last time that we broke the previous day's high, and it was an outside day because we broke the low and the high. And then here is the 26th of February was the last time that we had an up day that didn't break the previous day's low. Actually, this one was an inside day, but we've been one time framing down, sellers clearly in control. So now if we still haven't tested yesterday's value area high. Value area high from yesterday is right at that previous week's low. So I want to see if we are able to enter that range inside the previous week's low. If we do, then we are likely to retest yesterday's high, and then from there, I want to see a value area sweep from, I said on the notes Thursday's range, but this is Friday's range. Made a mistake. So Friday's range, value area low to value area high. But one area at a time. That's kind of far from where we are now, so I'm just looking at all scenarios. The other scenario is that we just start balancing. We are not able to break either the low or the high, or just break the high and then come down and then stay rotational. That's the other option. We have jolts, and tomorrow we have CPI. So maybe that's the case, we stay rotational until CPI, and then from there we make the next move. That's a possibility. And then in Q, we have, I was mentioning this level, there was a big magnet, and when I mentioned it the first time, I was like, oh, that's crazy, that's way far. I mentioned that when we were up here, and I thought that we were not gonna get there anytime soon, but last night we started dropping, we almost got there, and then we got a nice reversal. If you were trading last night, NQ was moving very nice. It was moving during, like it usually moves on a normal day during the day. So I took that long. I got a bunch of points on that. But we still haven't tested that. So that's one of the things that makes me think that this down move is not over, just because this is such a prominent point of control right here that it's gonna keep being a magnet, I think. So keep an eye on that. I'm thinking that we're gonna have another leg down still. If we do, then it could be that we get a strong bounce reaction from there. Otherwise, if we go down, we have a couple sets of single prints here at 960 and at 860. And then here we have a low volume area that could act as support right here. And then but then otherwise it's the similar scenario to ES, that if we start moving higher, test value area high, which is also that, well, actually this was the previous target that we had, but if we get back above value area high, watch for re-entering the previous week's range, and then from there a move back into Friday's value and back to that 20-day point of control up here at 20,180. Crude, retesting the low, so tested below, tested the low of the range, came back into the range. Like I said, I think it was gonna start to balance here. Retested it again, couldn't break that low, now move back to the middle of the range again. Still this area, resistance, I think this is a fade the edges kind of scenario, fade the 68.40 area and the 65.20 area back to the middle, I think. And gold, yesterday I mentioned that gap. We attempted to test this area, but we couldn't. So back to this 4-day balance. Now we're attempting to get back inside this range. So if we stay inside this this range above the 29.08, I would say, I think we're gonna retest this area, the highs here, because that's rejected and then back accepting inside this 4-day balance. So target should be the top of this range now, at 29.40ish, and then if we test it 1, 2, 3, 4 times, the 4th time we may be able to hold above it and then get back to that 29.53 area. Although the 20-day point of control shifted down here, so maybe we won't test back above it. So just watch this 4-day balance. Alright, today I'm gonna be here only until around 11, then I have to go. All right, good luck. Don't forget to like and subscribe.